Well, if you drove by the State House today, you might have seen hundreds of chairs out on the steps. It was all to mark International Overdose Awareness Day, which is the largest overdose awareness campaign in the world. And today, people gathered to honor the lives lost from overdose and recognize and acknowledge the pain, the suffering, and the journey families, friends, and the communities across Idaho experience. Chairs lined the steps of the Capitol on Wednesday, each chair representing one Idahoan who has died from drug overdose last year.
So it is quite profound.
In total, 353 chairs were on display, a visual representation of the 353 Idahoans who died in 2021.
The purpose of today's event is to reflect on all of this. It's to come together united as a community, to come together, pull our hearts together, and work together towards healing, work together towards bringing our community uplifted and providing resources.
Wednesday's event included various speakers, like House Speaker Scott Bedke, who stood in for Governor Little, and Paulina Luongate, the Bureau Chief for the Bureau of Equity and Strategic Partnerships at the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare.
Our speakers represent drug overdose prevention, intervention, and postvention. The messages that they emphasize for today on this special awareness day is really to provide inspiration and hope to Idahoans.
Caitlin Flutter John was also among the speakers. She shared her personal experience with overdose.
When I was on those drugs, I was not at all who I am today. I was a completely different person, and I didn't have any morals, I didn't have any limits.
She adds there were times when she felt there was no hope.
My life was so miserable. I didn't have any hope, I didn't have any friends, I didn't have any family. I was homeless and I wanted something different. I shared my story about how the guy bailed me out and I didn't want to be bailed out. Like, I tried fighting deputies, I didn't want to go, I wasn't ready to be released. I wanted to stay and get treatment in jail because jail was the safest place that I ever was in my addiction.
She now hopes to encourage anyone who is experiencing what she felt back then to get help.
I want everyone to know, like addiction for a long time was seen as kind of like a grungy, dirty thing, and you don't want to think about it, or like you see homeless people and you think, oh, like they're addicts, just let them do their thing, they chose to be there. And like a lot of the time that's not the case. Like, we're everywhere and recovery is possible.
And all of today's speakers wanted everyone to know that if you or someone you know are dealing with overdose problems, right now you are not alone. There are resources, hope, and help available, and we'll have links to those resources in this story at KTVB.com.